A record-breaking defamation case settlement in Dominion voting lawsuit against Fox News. Yesterday, the cable news giant agreed to settle for nearly $800 million. It happened on the day that opening arguments were set to begin.
Truthful reporting in the media is essential to our democracy.
The CEO of Dominion Voting Systems says the nearly $800 million settlement of its defamation suit against Fox News is historic.
Lies have consequences.
Opening statements were set to start yesterday in a Delaware court. Instead, the judge announced the parties had resolved the case. In a statement, the network acknowledged that the court found some of Fox's claims against Dominion to be false.
The settlement then avoids a trial on allegations. It, for at least Fox, appears to be over.
Well, the lawsuit goes back to the 2020 election. This defamation case involved on-air claims that Fox News made that a voting machine company rigged the election against Donald Trump. The Fox News trial was supposed to put the First Amendment to the test, so let's connect the dots. Following the 2020 election, President Trump's staunchest supporters tried to blame the results of the presidential contest on massive voter fraud. Hosts and guests on Fox quickly became fixated on the voting machine company, Dominion. On-air talent claimed that the company rigged the election in support of Joe Biden. Dominion fought back with a $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit. They allege that the network's top executives and talent knew that what they were saying on air wasn't accurate or truthful. Fox isn't backing down. They're standing by their coverage of the 2020 election and say they're protected by freedom of speech and freedom of the press clauses in the U.S. Constitution. It would have been up to a jury to decide, but Fox News settled, ending the lawsuit. And that's connecting the dots. And because they settled the lawsuit, Fox News does not have to make on-air retractions or comments on their previous statements about Dominion. Something along those lines could have been required if the company had proceeded with the loss and defamation lawsuit. Now, while the case with Dominion appears to be over, Fox News is still facing a similar defamation suit from another voting system firm, Smartmatic. The Smartmatic company is seeking $2.7 billion, and experts believe that case could end in a settlement as well. So really the big issue at the center of all of these legal battles is election security. And does your vote count?
There's been testing, there's been reconciliation. We go through so many measures to make sure that every eligible voter's ballot can count.
Before any piece of election equipment can be used in North Carolina elections, it must be certified by the State Board of Elections. Now, the board says it ensures the voting systems remain reliable, accurate, and user-friendly, as well as accessible and capable of secure operation. North Carolina has approved voting systems from 3 different companies: Clear Ballot, Election Systems, and Software, as well as Hart InterCivic. Now, before any election, the county tests its voting machines for accuracy. Local elections directors say it's about ensuring transparency and security.
Every piece of election voting machines are inspected and tested by bipartisan teams before each election. We also do post-election audits the same way. That is a public process.
It's very important that we have our testing done because we don't want to find out that we have problems with our voting machines on election day. We don't want to do anything to keep anyone from voting. We want to make sure that everything runs smoothly. Of course, you can't guarantee that. Sometimes you do have hiccups, but we have a team that can come out and take care of that without an issue.
As for common claims about voting machines, you may hear from people concerned about election security. Surrey County's elections director explains.
They are secure. They may not, under state law, in any way ever be connected to the internet. They do not contain modems. They do not contain modem chips. So there is no connectivity there. And that is the method that we use here in North Carolina, is a voting machine for counting. We do not do hand count. That is not an accepted method in North Carolina.
Voters, listen up. While you don't have a bigger election to worry about this year, like the presidential race or even picking the next North Carolina governor, some of you will still have elections coming up this November. Municipal election primaries are happening November the 7th. We'll be right back.